Attention in the terminal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing Galactic Spaceways. My name is Andrew, and it's my pleasure to assist you today. We'll now begin our boarding process, starting with our wonderful Nebula status members. All other passengers, please remain comfortably seated in the gate area. We do appreciate your patience. Once again, welcome aboard all Nebula status members.
Space travel is on the horizon. As crazy as it might seem, according to Forbes analyst Jeff Whitmore, it's entirely possible that civilians will be able to travel beyond the stratosphere as early as this year. It's amazing how far we've come since the invention of the airplane just over a century ago. But, of course, there are a few restrictions. Like commercial aviation, certain procedures and customs measures will likely be taken to ensure balanced trade between entities and to keep track of who's doing what where. So, in addition to that announcement you heard earlier, you may very well hear this, too.
As you approach the podium, please be ready with your boarding pass and galactic passport open to the picture page. Welcome aboard Flight 227, service to Mars at Gate G2.
And that's our question today. Will you need a passport for space travel? To answer this complex question, we'll break this analysis up into two parts. First, what will likely happen in the current world, and second, what the status will be in the future, before finally answering the question at hand and finding the most efficient path forward for the future of trade and tourism. Let's begin with a basic scenario taking place in the current world. As you walk into the airport, you check in as normal, pay an exorbitant amount for your ticket, tag your bag and boarding pass, and methodically stuff as much as you can into your carry-on luggage, hoping that nobody will raise an eyebrow. So far, there's no difference between your special space flight and a traditional red-eye. Next stop, security. Wait in line, take off your shoes and belt, remove your laptop, and sustain a few shots of radiation, all while listening to that security agent strain their vocal cords and hope that someone will follow their directions. Done. Once again, no difference. Then, you arrive at the gate. At this point, it really depends on what your flight plan is. As reported by Eric Betts of Astronomy Magazine, all of the 6 ways to explore the vast emptiness consist merely of orbiting around the Earth, as opposed to interplanetary travel. Moreover, as most of these spacecraft operators are private entities or corporations with limited launch and descent space, you'll probably won't be landing in international territory unless absolutely necessary. Imagine a flight path from New York to Seattle. The fastest route goes primarily through Canadian airspace. Since you never land in Canada, you start and end in the same country, so you don't need a passport. This is a similar situation, only the flights here are much longer, you're much higher up, and you're crossing over numerous nations as you orbit the Earth. So if you're wealthy enough to pay thousands, if not millions of dollars for space fare as of this moment, you won't need a new passport, though this $50 discount is obviously fairly minimal to you. That's how the situation is today, and will remain if progression in space tourism stagnates. But basic economic trends teach us that severe stagnation will likely not happen. Space tourism will be expanding farther than just the orbits of the Earth. Space aficionado and eccentric billionaire Elon Musk, for example, plans to set up an entire Martian colony within the coming years, with living, working human beings inhabiting it. Now, every colony needs an economy. And since none of those workers would be natural Martian citizens, they'd likely have to obtain work permits in order to make the economy legitimate, similar to how we use work visas here on Earth. To further complicate matters, under the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, no sovereign country can lay claim to an object in space, meaning that places like Mars are international territory, like a massive embassy. Using this analogy that we created earlier, since you'll have to land on Mars, you'll probably need a passport, since you're leaving one country and entering another state. The international territory designation simply means that no country controls it, but you'd still need a passport to enter, since it will likely be owned by a non-government organization. This primary reason behind this is to control trade and the economy. With the expansion into space, a new currency could evolve, requiring tight control and oversight. In addition, when governments know who is engaging in trade and where in the universe they're doing that, our now intergalactic trade system will operate smoothly. Should free passportless travel become the norm, efficiency and fair trade likely won't come along with it. To summarize, right now, you probably won't need your passport, especially considering you won't be engaging in economic activity on another planet. But in our future, if you plan on staying, working, living, or exchanging space bucks outside Earth's atmosphere, you will probably have to present your passport upon landing on Mars, the Moon, or any other planet, since you'll technically be traveling between different government entities.
Attention in the terminal, this is a final boarding call for Galactic Spaceways Flight 227, service to Mars. All passengers make their way to Gate G2 to ensure an on-time departure.
So with your boarding pass ready, you'll be off on your way to the thrill of a lifetime. But depending on when you hop on that rocket, make sure you have your intergalactic passport.